My intuition is telling me that.
What's up, Glamazons? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new, thank you for joining us. My name is Natalie and this is my channel, Music to Makeup. So today I'm going to be talking about a topic that's not so glamorous, but one that is extremely important to me and one that I am very passionate about. And I'm going to be talking about life path numbers, and in particularly my life path, which is a life path number 9. So life path number is basically your purpose in this lifetime, and you kind of have to have a belief in reincarnation, which I did not always have. And there is kind of a misconception that if you believe in reincarnation that you don't believe in God, which is a complete fallacy. It's completely not true, because we are here on earth to learn and for our soul to grow and to evolve. And we have to have a connection to God and to love and to compassion in order to learn these lessons. And without a belief in God and a belief in a higher power and a belief that you are growing to a more advanced state of consciousness, there is no reincarnation. So the way your life path number is calculated has to do with your birthday. So I will tell you how to calculate it, but then I'll also leave a life path number generator down in the description below. So I'm going to take my birthday, for example, and show you how I came to the conclusion that I'm a life path number 9. So my birthday is July 6th, 1985. So what you do is you add up every single digit. So we have the month 07. So 7 plus 06 plus 0 plus 6. Okay, we have 13 plus 1, 14, plus 9, 23, plus 8, 31, plus 5, 36. And you want to try and narrow it down to a one-digit number. So we have 36, so we have 3 plus 6 equals 9. Now there are 2 exceptions where you don't narrow it down to one number, and those are the master numbers 11 or 33. But I'm just going to be talking about life path number 9 and touch on life path numbers 1 through 9 as well. So if you are a life path number 9 or just interested in hearing about life paths, then life path number 9, this life path is one of insight, generosity, emotion, compassion, awareness, interpretation, diversity, and strengths. So because it is the last one, it contains the characteristics of all the other numbers of 1 through 8. So I'm just quickly going to go through the main themes, main lessons of each life path. So each life path has a different focus or different lessons that need to be completed in that lifetime. So life path number 1 is about independence, knowing who you are, adapting to change, and leading your own life. Life path number 2 is about relation, cooperating with others, patience, tact, careful attention to detail, and developing your intuition. Life path number 3 is about creativity and communication, friendship, beauty, happiness. Life path number 4 is about breakthrough, knowing that one's work must be what you really love, dealing with limitation. Life path number 5 is about freedom, and it's gaining experiences by learning from mistakes, travel, coping with sudden developments. Life path number 6 is about responsibility, living in freedom and living responsibly, the ultimate balancing act. Number 7 is about wisdom, inner development, spirituality, and knowledge. Number 8 is about satisfaction, using your powers of manifestation through true understanding and balance. And 9 is completion, following your feelings to free will. So life path number 9 is the most complicated and the most difficult to make sense of. Because it is the last one, we are here to work on tying up loose ends, any resolved emotions from the past, learning to let go, learning to complete things, and it's definitely learning how to control our emotions. I also read that life path number 9s are most likely to commit suicide. But basically, we're gonna endure trauma after trauma until we finally accept that our emotions are what we are here to learn about, learning how to control our emotions and process our emotions. So life path number 9s are definitely very passionate about spirituality and psychology. And I mean, I've always been drawn to the occult or spirituality. I do tarot. I'm very interested in personal growth and especially psychology, learning why I think the way I do and learning why other people think the way they do and how we interact. And I think that is why I am so passionate about certain topics like numerology and life path numbers, personality testing, Myers-Briggs, etc., etc. And it's kind of funny because my Myers-Briggs, I'm an INFJ, and the qualities and characteristics of an INFJ are very comparable and correlate with the characteristics of someone who has a life path number 9. And this is my perfect example of how to describe a life path number 9 person to someone else. Think of Morgan Freeman. He's an old soul. He's very calm and reserved, very knowledgeable. And believe it or not, Morgan Freeman is a life path number 9, as well as Mother Teresa, who's also an INFJ. But life path number 9s are old souls, and this is likely your last lifetime on Earth. And as crazy as that sounds, when I read that, my intuition and my soul just recognized it like so completely, because I've always had this feeling like I don't really belong on Earth anymore. And I don't know how to really explain that feeling that I had, but when I read that, I was like, that is 100% true. I don't feel like this is my true home, and I can get frustrated very easily with other people who aren't as spiritually advanced as I am, and I think I've learned most of what I need to learn while in the physical form on Earth. And we, life path number 9s, have been every sex, every ethnicity, you name it, we've done it in a past life. And because of that, nothing really shocks us anymore. And also because of that, we are drawn to people from all walks of life. We don't judge based on someone's race, sex, ethnicity, culture. We value someone based on the person they are and their contribution to the world. So we are definitely humanitarians, and we have to learn to accept our role as a giver, as a life path number 9. And something that we struggle with and need to work on in this lifetime is learning how to say no to others, because we have a tendency to not want to say no because we feel guilty, and we end up over exhausting ourselves trying to make other people happy. And like I said before, INFJs, we have that extroverted feeling where we're always concerned with other people's emotions and trying to make them happen. And that correlates perfectly with life path number 9. So because we have lived so many different lives, we there's very little that we can't relate to, and we know a little bit about everything. And when I was, making my notes for this video, I was like, that's really true. And I started like kind of naming the things that I, know about. Like I'm a nurse. And not only that, I'm a critical care nurse, which in terms of nursing is one of the most advanced forms of nursing. I do makeup. I'm into psychology. I do tarot. I make soap, brush cleaner. I love reading. I'm an excellent writer. I have so many things I want to do. I want to write a book. I would love to write like a screenplay or do something like that. And I have just always, if I tried something, I was just a fast learner. I would pick it up very, very quickly. And it's because we have this knowing subconsciously of these things from our past lifetimes. But because of this, it can create problems with our identity. Because we have interest in so many things and know about so many things, it can be hard for us to find that one true passion and that one path to follow. So we have issues with fulfillment because we have a very high expectation, and usually fulfillment for a life path number 9 comes through using some sort of creativity to help make the world a better place. So also because we are like a jack of all trades, we have a tendency to bounce from one thing to the next without completing anything. And like I said before, our life path is about completion. You guys don't know how many books I have in my Kindle Unlimited that are like 25% read. You look through my library, it's like 28% read, 17% read, 43% read. I'm like, stop judging me. I'm going to finish them one day, but of course I never do. So another thing about life path number 9s is you're likely to experience at least one major trauma, illness, accident, scandal, or some sort of challenging incident which changes the entire course of your life. And when I read that, I was just like, oh, it makes so much sense. 5 years ago, I injured my back severely while working. I herniated my entire lumbar spine, and I deal with chronic pain every day. And as angry as I was and as depressed as I was and still am, it forced me, because I no longer was able to do everything I was able to do before and didn't have the energy to do the things I was able to do before. It forced me to take a look at my life and look inside and ask myself what really makes me happy. Because I have this limited amount of energy, what do I really want to focus it on? What am I really passionate on? And that's when I decided to start my YouTube channel and to start doing things that were creative. And I have learned for myself personally, I think it would help other life path number 9s, that just doing something creatively helps kind of you deal with your emotions. I'm not exactly sure how, but there was a very long time, and the majority of my life, I never considered myself a creative person. And, because of most of my schooling was, medical and scientific, I didn't have that creativity, that creative aspect in my life. And once I finally got back into my creativity, like makeup was kind of what helped me break through. I realized how essential it was to my well-being. So eventually your emotions will become your power instead of your weakness. I always thought my sensitivity and being so emotional was a weakness because that is the way that it was portrayed to me from the outside world. I remember one of the jobs I worked at, where they would talk to me about something and I would just start crying. She'd be like, "Why are you so emotional?" And it just made me feel like shit. But we are empathetic. We are able to recognize emotions in other people. We may have a tendency to not understand our own emotions so much, but once we do learn to control and work through our emotions, they will become our power. Because we are humanitarians and so giving and so empathetic, we have a tendency to attract people, narcissists, that take advantage of us. So that's something that we have to keep an eye out for and develop strong personal boundaries. And even though we are so empathetic and can relate to so many things, we have a tendency to become frustrated by a world that is so gullible, and it's not from a negative place. It's because we want to open people's eyes to the reality. And I mean, like, perfect example, our past president. It's just like, I would get so frustrated, like, how can you not see what he's doing? But I have to remind myself, okay, not everyone is as an advanced soul as I am, and maybe this is part of a lesson that they're learning and working through in their life path. So life path number 9s have great intuition. We also have an intelligent and witty sense of humor. We're also good readers, are good students and fast readers, and we absorb information like a sponge. That's so true. I was a great student in school. I graduated 3rd in my class. I love reading, and I am a fast reader, even though I may not finish all the books. I'm currently in the process of reading like 5 different books. Maybe I'll finish one of them. So like I was saying earlier, we understand emotion well, but it's usually other people's emotions that we understand well. We tend not to express or deal with our emotions constructively, and this can get stored in our neck and shoulders, and especially hips. Life path number 9s also have a tendency to be depressed, and it's because we are very idealistic, and we have this idealistic perspective of the world, and then when we see that people aren't who we think they are and the reality doesn't match our ideals, it can make us very discouraged and depressed. So our overall goal is to do good and to change the world and to bring the spiritual light to the world. And it's it's kind of crazy because I do mostly makeup videos, but in my life outside of YouTube, I designated myself as like the spiritual guru on the unit I work at the hospital, and I've made sure that every single person knows their life path number and their Myers-Briggs personality type. And it wasn't like I was trying to force it onto people. It originally started with, people I became friends with and, who I could intuitively sense were on the same spiritual level as me. I'd be like, hey, have you heard of this? Like, no. Would you like to know what your life path number is? Because I've known how much it's helped me. And so I would calculate it for them. Like, oh my God, that is so accurate. And other people started to hear about it. They're like, calculate my life path number for me. I went, so like legit, the whole unit now knows their life path number. So another big lesson that we are learning in this lifetime is how to let go. We have to learn how to let go of material possessions and relationships. And the lesson in that being that if we hold on to anything too tightly, it's only going to cause us pain. So our greatest chance at success in the physical world is to tie our personal finances to an endeavor that makes the world a better place. So those are just some of the key characteristics of the life path number 9 that I wanted to touch on, and ones that I really relate to. If you don't relate to all of them, that's completely fine. Take the things you do relate to, apply them to yourself, and the ones you don't relate to, ignore, because we are not all the same. There can be 2 different people who have a life path number 9, but we're not going to have all the exact same characteristics and beliefs and lessons we have to work on. So, all right, guys, I hope you found this helpful or interesting, and I know it has definitely opened my eyes up and given me a whole and entirely new perspective on life. All right, guys, I love you. I will see you in my next video.